This program will install Red Alert. Sound hardware initialized. Upgrade in progress. Please stand by. For last-minute changes and notes, please view the README file.
He who controls the past commands the future. He who commands the future conquers the past.
Upgrade complete. Please stand by.
Hello everyone, Random Gamer Riven here again tonight, and in today's video we'll be following on from yesterday's where we'll be looking at Command Conquer the HD Remastered Edition, only this time round I will be looking at Red Alert in the Command Conquer Remaster. Oh, it's been some years since I've really sat down and played Red Alert that much, except for a video we did a little while back. Now supposedly if you press, I think it's Shift This will, and left click here will unlock the ants. Ah, yes, okay. So you have to press shift and left click to do it. So it came from Red Alert. You know what? Why don't we start with this one? So as mentioned yesterday, this is the 2020 release of the Command Conquer HD pack. And I'm actually going to realise I need to turn down my audio on my PC monitor so you don't hear it on the mic.
Ants? Is this some kind of a joke? You got ants in your pants? Call an exterminator. I'm on vacation. What? How big? Casualties? What do you mean the southern perimeter's been compromised? Listen up, soldier. If we lose England, it's not going to be to a bunch of pinko ants. I don't care how big. Look, I don't care how you do it, son. I'd piss on a spark plug if I thought it'd do any good. You just tell your men to get out there and kick some ant ass.
It came from Red Alert. I think this is a play on the iconic Amiga game. It came from The Desert, which is one of those games that I've never actually played, but I just remember seeing all the pictures of it, and it's sort of an iconic thing. So yes, it came from The Desert, or it came from Red Alert in this case. So again, we are looking at the Command & Conquer Electronic Arts published, the Petroglyph and Lemon Sky Studio remaster of the original Command & Conquer, done by Westwood Studios, and most of the Westwood, a large chunk of the Westwood Studios are now at Petroglyph. So this, as with the dinosaur missions from the original CNC, was a bonus campaign. I'm not actually sure many of the later games had the novelty of the bonus campaign, which is actually a bit disappointing, because there was something quite nice about just having a few hidden missions. And again, as I mentioned previously, they did do additional intros to the PlayStation version, so that intro there of the general giving you a briefing saying ants, blah blah, that was added in for the PlayStation version.
Agreed.
I'll just check how you... I believe that's a PlayStation version intro. That's the same 4x3 picture of the PlayStation version for some of them. So I actually think that was probably a hidden thing in the PlayStation version, so I'll have to figure out which one of the PlayStation ones it was in, where it was in the main game, whether it was in the expansion. Probably the expansion, as it's the expansion cutscenes.
Very well. Very well. Agreed.
See there, much like the dinosaur one, we now we are investigating an unidentified force, and of course it's going to be giant ants.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
And as we looked at last night, this really is a superb. So you can see how you can really zoom out on most of these maps as well. The only maps you can't zoom out that far on are the small ones at the start, and I think that's actually due to a bug with the original game, where if you zoomed out too far and had a black screen area, the game would weirdly render bits in that. So there we go, there's our first. We have an ant. We have a giant ant. That would be quite a menacing prospect, seeing a giant ant come to you in real life with pincers and whatnot.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Our base is under attack.
But a giant version of
Reconstruction
just about
options.
any creature going. Okay, so
Affirmative.
tell me I've got a base somewhere. Oh yes, I have got a base. Okay, let's go to the base.
At once. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative.
Preparing.
So whether I actually want to repair, probably should repair everything, but whether I actually have enough money to repair everything is another matter.
Preparing. Preparing.
Okay, so there's the harvester. I need to get the harvester out.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Preparing. Preparing.
Let's get this all repaired and back up ship shape.
Reporting at once. Very well.
Training. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Very well.
And here comes Anne.
Training. Unit lost. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Very well. Yes, sir.
So let's get the harvester harvesting.
Reporting.
Let's
Yes,
get my
sir.
guys dealing with these.
Affirmative.
Okay,
Very
so the
well.
pillboxes are actually quite helpful. I probably want to get one in the centre there, just to. Apologies on the slightly late start to the stream. I was conducting some Hertz research on the PS2.
Unit lost.
Reporting.
Do I say? Oh,
Affirmative.
what's all up?
Base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well.
Unit
Those
lost.
flame ants. They've just absolutely torn through my base.
Agreed.
Repairing.
I say Hertz research. What I was actually doing was playing Strider 2
Reporting.
after we discovered you can
Acknowledged.
force it into 60 Hertz, the power one into 60 Hertz,
Acknowledged.
and
Affirmative.
actually align it correctly. So one of the interesting things we discovered, you can force some PS1 games thanks to a really
Affirmative.
old PS1 piece of software.
Affirmative.
It is very out of
Affirmative.
date. I'm not sure how many games it actually works with. There's a lot of big titles it doesn't work with, a lot of
Very
old
well.
titles it doesn't work as well. But Strider 2, we actually have working at 60 Hertz. You have to align the screen though, and you have to hold down. It's a weird thing. They added an option if you hold down LR or L1 R1, L2 R2, L,
Yes, sir.
L1 L1
Affirmative.
L2 R1 R2, and then you can sort of adjust. So these guys are really getting dropped on me, so I really need to start getting stuff out. Grenaders, come on
Training.
chaps.
Unit ready. Training. Unit lost.
Uh-oh.
Unit ready. Building.
Okay, and I've lost my ore truck.
Acknowledged. Very well. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Okay, this is surprisingly hard, this ant campaign mission.
Insufficient funds. Unit
No,
lost.
affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Probably actually want multiple. Oh god, they're tearing me to shreds now. I'm getting absolutely decimated. So, rule of thumb: I probably want to build multiple or multiple
Very well.
thingy
Agreed.
boxes very, very quickly.
Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. Affirmative. At once. Agreed.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Agreed. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Reporting. Agreed.
You can take my. Seeing as I've lost my main engine, to see if I can find the enemy's base and do as much damage as
Affirmative.
possible to them.
Agreed.
Our base is under attack.
Agreed.
20 minutes
At once.
remaining.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. At once.
Unit lost.
Of course. At once.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Okay, there you go. So base is being savaged
Agreed.
by the ants. Oh well,
Affirmative.
I'll just see if I can do as much damage as possible to them.
Affirmative.
So what was actually the mission objective again in this one?
Agreed.
Keep the base functional, and yeah, well, I've lost the
Agreed.
base. That's for
Affirmative.
sure. There's not much left of the base.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well. Of course. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Grenades are actually quite a good unit against the ants.
Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir.
Unit
Very
lost.
well. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once. Very well. Affirmative.
Unit
At once.
lost.
Affirmative. At once.
Why do I win this just by keeping my guys alive for long enough?
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
guys, shoot!
Lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative. At once. At once.
Why do I win this mission
Affirmative.
just by keeping these guys alive? Although keeping them alive for 16 minutes just
Agreed.
wandering around is going to be a bit bland for you
Agreed.
guys to watch. So,
At once. Agreed. Agreed. At once. Affirmative. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Very well. Affirmative. Very well. Very well.
Unit
At
lost.
once. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Actually, the
Agreed.
ants largely seem to ignore me
Agreed.
in it, so...
Affirmative.
That gone, so.
Affirmative.
Time
Agreed.
just wander around, just ignore them.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
At once.
Soon we will stand.
Agreed.
Soon we will stand.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
It came
Mission
from
failed.
Red Alert! Roar! Replay mission? No, I think that's enough of a quick intro. So, yes, we've got retaliation. Yeah, so retaliation. So we've got aftermath and Counter-Strike. So it was aftermath and Counter-Strike. Retaliation was the name, so correct me wrong. Retaliation was the name of the PS1 version, and Counter-Strike and Aftermath were the names of the PC expansions that were bundled together on the PS1 in the Retaliation pack. What should we do? Should we do a Russian one? Should I do a Allied one? Let's do a Russian. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's do France. Don't drink the water. So I'll just pick a nice Russian campaign mission just to show what it looks like in this all new HD one. I'll probably actually do the Russian campaign, bit of the GDI campaign before we round out this evening. Okay, the Allies are doing. Some of the missions take a little bit long to load, I noticed, and I'm on a bit of a beast of a machine. My only slight downside is the graphics card, which is only 2 gigs, but I think it's 32 gigs of RAM. I'm on an i7, so it's a powerful thing.
Reinforcements have arrived.
And I should actually read the mission briefing before skipping it. The Allies are developing a new current capture. Okay, so I've got to capture.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
So I've got a handful of troops to capture the Chronosphere.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
So, supply trucks. So, capture the Chronosphere used to send an MVC to the large island. What? Okay, so first off, I've got to be nefarious and poison the water supply.
Awaiting
We've got
orders.
trouble.
Yes, sir.
Come on, let's deal with these guys.
Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. At once. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Agreed. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Comrade, acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
So that's one of the things with this. So you do have to be careful with certain units. So really the supply chuck and
Acknowledged.
so although I'm looking at the water supply, the grenadiers and my combat unit should go first so they can deal with the enemy, because the engineers will get slaughtered if they run to enemies. Now, engineers in this one, as I mentioned last night, don't instantly capture a building, unlike the original Command and Conquer. As I said, engineers in the original Command and Conquer were an absolutely overpowered unit. In this one, an engineer will do a set amount of damage. If that damage would effectively destroy the building, then you'd capture it. But at full health, if you send an engineer into a building, it will only do a set amount of damage to it. Same with yellow, you really have to get buildings down to red in this one before you can successfully capture them. So that's one change, and it does make it fair, as I said. So unlike, you can still do the old... no. Oh,
Affirmative.
this is where I've got to be
Affirmative.
careful because my
Yes,
troops are
affirmative.
away from my...
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys,
Affirmative.
move,
Very well.
Engineering.
Ready and waiting at once.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Very well.
Engineering. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Okay, so I ain't got. I've got 3
Affirmative.
troops left. Yeah, I shouldn't have run them against that pillbox. That's
Affirmative.
cost me dearly.
Comrade. Acknowledged.
Shouldn't really do this because the
Acknowledged.
truck's faster.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
So I'm looking
Affirmative.
for a waterfall.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
I need to
Acknowledged.
poison the waterfall.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
So as long as I've got one guy
Acknowledged.
left, then I can.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Crap. Okay, the good thing is that one's.
Affirmative.
I've got
Affirmative.
2 units left.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Actually damage that
Affirmative.
thing.
Engineering.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Come on, move, move. Oh, we've got to go around the
Affirmative.
pillbox.
Mission
Mission
failed.
failed. Okay, right, I'll try that one again. This time I won't. Yes, there was a slight poignancy with some of the intros in this.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Because I will admit, as fun as this game is, it does slightly trivialise the aspects of war.
Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative.
And it's fair to say, I've never actually quite played a game that quite shows you a realism of the war or gives you a real experience of what basically participate. Actually gives you more, shows you the consequence. Maybe I'm phrasing it wrongly. The consequences of war.
Acknowledged at
'cause
once.
in games like
Yes,
Call
sir.
of Duty, if you get,
Acknowledged.
you basically
Very
your
well.
character will just be,
Agreed.
you'll take health
Acknowledged.
damage
Yes,
and you'll get killed.
Reporting. Very
What
well.
you don't tend to do is get
Very well.
you can't actually have a game where literally you get shot in the arm and then you're
Very
told,
well.
hey, your hand's been blown off now, you've only got one hand
Yes, sir.
arm to play the rest of the game with,
Acknowledged.
which would be quite a
Yes,
poignant
sir.
thing if you basically had all your
Yes,
character, if you literally had a
Reporting
real world
affirmative.
thing. It might be a bit
Yes. Affirmative.
unpalatable
Waiting
for a lot of
affirmative.
people, but it's
Yes, sir.
something that's worth
Affirmative.
remembering, that people,
At once.
games don't really show
Affirmative.
the true horrors of war,
Affirmative.
and sometimes I do think they can overly trivialise this.
Affirmative.
And
Very well.
as good as this fun, it does slightly trivialise war to some degree.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
And history, as I've learned, is probably the greatest
sir.
teacher
Very
of them
well.
all. It's also, when you really study it, it's
Yes, sir.
quite dark
Affirmative.
in a lot of places,
Acknowledged.
and you have to
Acknowledged.
really look at
Affirmative.
all
Affirmative.
aspects of all sides as to why people do things, to
Acknowledged.
understand
Acknowledged.
where you
Acknowledged.
could have, what things in
Acknowledged.
history, what things you could have done to
Acknowledged.
help prevent conflict
Acknowledged.
and things
Reporting
like that,
at
which often I
once.
think people forget, and
Affirmative.
some really interesting
Very
things.
well.
Certainly, while studying history, one of
Reporting.
the
Very
biggest
well.
things I would advise, if you've never had a chance to,
Very well.
if you really look at history, some really interesting things that really
Yes, sir.
teaches you to learn. Basically, one of the key factors with,
Affirmative.
as Secret of Manus says, time flows like a history, and history repeats, and actually you don't
Yes, sir.
want history
Very
to
well.
repeat. You actually want to avoid
At
making
once.
the same mistakes. Okay, so that is the supply truck, and as you can see there, their base has been
Affirmative.
poisoned,
Affirmative. Affirmative.
and I can actually run. I think I can run
Affirmative.
around this side now. Well, I'm guessing it's got to take a little while for the water to actually. Oh, let's see there. The finally, it's reaching.
Affirmative.
Yes, it's basically
Affirmative.
just destroying their base.
Affirmative.
Okay, so in the tanks, right? So this is where I've got to be a bit careful. That tank,
Affirmative.
those tanks are active, and I need to
Affirmative.
sneak around carefully
Affirmative.
into that
Affirmative.
base.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Now I'm also going to slightly damage the
Awaiting
Chronosphere
orders.
with a single
Yes, sir.
unit,
Reporting at once.
just so it makes it a bit easier for me to capture it.
Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Reinforcements
Ready
have
and waiting.
arrived.
Of course. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative.
So I'm actually going to be a bit cheeky there and actually repair that.
Repairing.
Repair that. So where is this target I need to teleport? Ah, I need to capture the whole base. Okay. Ah, there's the MVC. So I'm actually going to try and capture that bunker.
Awaiting orders. Agreed. Agreed. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting.
Insufficient power.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Insufficient power.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
New construction options.
So
Insufficient power.
Vehicle
I
reporting.
should have teleported. I slightly must have messed up with the Chronosphere teleport. Never mind. So how do you
Yes, sir.
stop?
Reporting.
Bit
Of course.
Just
Of course. At once. At once.
It's also around here.
At once. Affirmative.
Our base is
Affirmative.
under attack.
Ready and waiting.
Still got
Of course.
one last. I think I must
Acknowledged.
have lost one
Affirmative.
mechanic, but
Reporting. Affirmative.
Training. Unit ready. Training.
Engineering.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Training.
Acknowledged. At once. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well. Ready and waiting. Very well. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. At once. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. At once. Very well. Yes, sir. At once.
Repairing.
Yes,
I
sir.
now actually
At
have
once.
a foothold here, which is actually quite helpful. I wonder if I've got ships, because if I can, I can move stuff across in the later part. Click on.
Yes, sir.
If it's a teleport vehicle, you can one location, click on button and click on target location. Feel selected.
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. Very well. Of course.
Get rid of that guy, because he's a bit annoying.
Chronosphere ready.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Okay, so now a little
Agreed.
base over this side. A load of enemy tanks that I need to get rid of, but I can steal that power base. Okay, so ready.
Select target. Chronosphere
Vehicle
charging.
report. Acknowledged.
And there goes the Chronosphere. So I
Acknowledged.
now have.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
So we have a bit of a base, but I need to expand it. This one actually I probably should just build here because I have no idea where the enemy is and I need to get this. If I'm attacked on this side, I have next to nothing.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
So I think one of the large criticisms some people have with Red Alert, and I think it's a fair criticism, I think a couple have said, is that this is largely what I would describe as an expansion pack sequel, in that it doesn't really do anything. Okay, now I'm going to use Spot Bother.
Our base is under attack.
Barracks out
Building.
quickly, and repair on my...
Prepare. Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
flame tower out. I'm going to need to find them as well. That flame tower first, come on, come on.
Construction complete. Chronosphere ready.
Okay, that's that. Okay, let's build a ore refinery first, because that's the imperative one, and let's get some troops out here as well. So the HUD is quite a bit different. So yes, the medic is actually a real blessing
Unit
of units
ready.
in this one.
Training.
Rocket soldiers, grenadiers.
Unit
Because
ready.
the medic and two medics
Training.
can heal one another, so
Unit
one medic
ready.
can't heal.
Unit
Oh.
ready. Unit ready.
Yes, I need to
Training.
make that the primary
Primary
barracks.
building selected. Insufficient funds. On hold. Cancel. Construction
I hope
complete.
that refinery is built, because else I'm going to be out of
New construction options.
Acknowledged. At once.
going to be out of
Agreed.
money.
Agreed. At once. Affirmative.
Money! I need
Affirmative.
more money!
At once. Very well. Affirmative. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
That's just the thing with ore, it would
Affirmative.
actually grow much like Tiberium, so if you left it
Affirmative.
long enough,
Agreed.
a patch would become much more
Agreed.
prosperous. So
Affirmative.
sometimes it was, rather than completely
Affirmative.
deplete a patch, leave a little bit
Agreed.
left, so that way it would grow over time.
Affirmative. At
So I've got
once.
some defense
Very
now
well.
in this base, but I need some money!
Affirmative. Affirmative.
I don't want to sell one. Ooh,
Reporting. Affirmative.
they're blowing up my power plants!
At once. Yes, sir. At once. Affirmative. Medic reporting. Moving out. Acknowledged. Very well.
Training.
Ready and waiting.
And
Unit
here's
ready.
where I have
Yes, sir.
a problem.
Yes, sir.
The thing with the expansions,
Training.
they are
Reporting.
very tricky, so yeah.
Yes, sir.
Literally
Ready.
that guy there first.
Yes, sir.
Prepare.
Waiting orders. Very well.
Oh wow, I thought I was going to be finished. No, they've actually done it. They've repelled the... They had 2 tanks as well. My god, they were bad.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Primary building selected.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative.
Our
Affirmative.
base is under attack.
Moving
Oh,
out.
were those silos
Affirmative.
full of cash? Now what was shift fire?
Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative.
Okay, so let's do...
Primary building selected.
no, I don't want to set that one.
Primary building selected. Primary building selected. Training. Insufficient.
Oh,
Reporting. Of course. Yes,
Lost.
sir. Ready and waiting.
Unit lost.
At once. At once. Ready and waiting. Yes, sir.
now this is what happens when you take your eye off the ball. Oh well. Engineer's going to be on second. I've
Yes,
repelled
sir.
that attack.
Yes, sir.
By now I don't have enough money to buy another refinery.
Comrade, acknowledged.
Insufficient funds, okay.
On hold. Cancel.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Structure sold.
Uh,
Structure sold. Structure sold. Building.
okay, I'm screwed. I don't have enough cash. Okie dokie. So that was the that expansion mission. As I mentioned before, the expansion
control
missions really
terminated.
you have to be on top of your game. And a long time ago, when I played through everything, you could know how to deal exactly with all those expansion missions. But so we've got that was the Russian side of the expansion. Let's actually do the main Russian side scenes. We previously covered the GDI. I'll do one GDI mission. No, allies, not GDI.
Radenko, how long did it take to get to work?
Is it safe to speak?
Of course. Go on.
The kill time depends upon the weight of the subject. The children were terminated in less than 15 seconds, and the adults took longer, 18 to 42 seconds.
No survivors.
None, Comrade Stalin.
The total dead?
Approximately 840.
My intelligence said there were 877 people in the village. How do you account for this discrepancy?
Inaccurate intelligence?
Enough. Begin full production of the gas.
Already underway, Comrade Stalin.
Meet our newest officer. According to this profile, you should prove useful.
I would like to see that profile.
Give the lieutenant something important to do. That is all, Gradenko.
Forgive me, Comrade Stalin, but there is something else. Outside Torun, we have met with guerrilla resistance. They have blocked the roads into town here and here.
They are enemies of the people. Destroy the town and kill everyone in it. Come, my dear. I have an assignment which requires your special skills.
Let's see how you handle this. Go at once to Torun. Destroy everything and everyone. No prisoners, no survivors.
Yes, so as with similar to the Nod campaign, the Soviets are particularly nasty.
That is all.
That is all. The one thing I will say is it was always a bit odd, this one, with the fact they had realistic historical figures in an alternative world scenario, and I appreciate it's a cool game, but when you actually study what Stalin did, he was a really nasty person in many aspects of what he did. So, I mean, again, you have
Commander,
other historical figures as well, briefly at the start of the main GDI interest. So, I'm kind of a little bit mixed about this one with certain elements of it. So in this one, I'm actually going to be you can sort of upgrade your tactical interface with the modern one.
Yes, awaiting orders.
So basically, I think this one's this is quite a nice mission. Gets you used to the airplanes as well, because of course in the original Command Conquer, you wasn't deep into the game till you got the airplane. So in this one, you actually control quite a fun unit right at the start. Maybe you don't get quite limited access what you do with the airplanes, but it's just nice to have them in this early mission.
Ready and waiting.
And yeah, once again, you're the bad guys.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Very well. Ready and waiting at once. Awaiting orders. Very well. Agreed.
I do wonder if that's slightly why they moved away from accurate historical figures in the later Red Alert game. So they just came. You didn't have the. I think they only mentioned Einstein in the third one. They just mentioned Einstein. Right, you do briefly see him because the third one kind of plays on it as a reversion of this one, where they change what happens at the start of this one and do the same thing to Einstein.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Reinforcements have arrived.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. 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 At once.
Pillboxes,
At once.
so I think this one's going to hit
Yes, sir.
planes in, because of course
Affirmative.
we don't want to send the troops in because they will get blown up. They will get the pillboxes are a really nasty defense in this one. Yeah, so there they go. Planes are actually quite cool. You just fly them in, blow stuff up, fly them in, and blow more stuff up.
Yes, sir.
And they do also reload. Actually, I think you can do different targets. That plane is full, so
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Affirmative.
that.
Yes, sir.
This Yak can hit that.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
And the shotgun charged, and yep, that's pretty much.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Again, this is pretty merciless
well.
opening campaign mission. Just literally blow everything up.
Affirmative.
Put a gate there.
Affirmative.
Farmhouse there.
Very well. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Mission accomplished.
And again, you see their bonus gallery unlocked, and you literally have most of the original intros. I was surprised they actually had all the green screen, the original green stuff for a lot of the intros. I'm really surprised they kept it, especially seeing as the Westwood closed so long ago. Obviously, a couple of the staff members must have kept it. So it's kudos, because I know often the studios, when they get shut down, they lose all their source code, because many publishers that shut down studios don't keep hold of the studio's inventory. And it's fair to say EA, I don't think, have access to a lot of the source code for all their old sort of Mega Drive games, many of which should be updated and re-released. There was some really EA did put out some really good stuff back on the sort of 16-bit era. I mean, the Strike series is one series that should have long had a HD update and a remaster. Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, and Urban Strike. Admittedly, I still think Desert Strike was the best of the three. Although I don't tell a lie, you had Soviet Strike and Nuclear Strike, and they were actually both pretty good as well. So I know people don't say that as much, but Soviet Strike I really enjoyed. Nuclear Strike's quite good as well. They've got some actors in them as well. So.
Congratulations on earning this assignment, Commander. I am Captain Georgy Kukov, Chief of Field Operations for this region. Beyond this river lies Germany. Tomorrow our attack begins. For today, you have guard duty. See to it that nothing happens to the base or to the command center. The Allies have been moving closer and closer to our position. Watch out for sneak attacks. If conflict erupts, you have permission to take the fight to them. See you in Berlin.
Most of the things like smoking on camera, which is actually not that common these days in sort of a lot of games. They don't tend to like sort of showing smoking things, although it's probably realistic for the times. So
Yes, sir.
the Allies keep sneaking in. So
Agreed.
oh yes, we have the old guard dogs, probably one of the coolest. So this one I think we've got destroy all Allied units and structures. So I think I can block the bridge.
Affirmative.
Okay, yeah, the Allies, as you can see, they are creeping forward. So this one, so I have to build the axe this time round. As you see there, this one's quite nice in the fact that it does give you airborne units straight away. So they do make a few changes. They do obviously change a few things so that it's not quite the same as the original Command and Conquer. I realise it's still roughly the same engine, and you can see this is actually the original Command and Conquer maps scheme, but it's nice that they've reused it. I don't think they reused the... They reused this one. I don't remember them using the Desert and Nod sort of campaign maps much.
At once. Very well. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Very well. At once. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Probably shouldn't do what I'm about to do, but hell yeah, why
not? Unit lost.
Oh, a bit of slow down there.
Our base is under attack. Unit lost.
Okay, the dogs are
Very well.
absolutely lethal, but as you see there, you have to be quick with the dogs. If you don't, you're going to lose them. Okay, I need to be...
Yes, sir.
Now I actually need to scout out the enemies.
Affirmative.
I actually need to build a barracks because we don't have one at present. So I've got a wired fence.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Okay, so I can get some more dogs to replace the ones. I can get a flame tower as well. I do love the flame tower. It's quite a cannon in there.
New construction options.
I'll probably need another power plant as well as I'm running.
Construction complete.
So yeah, once I finish this, I'll probably be jumping back on Strider 2 on the PlayStation 2. So things we managed to, we're having some steady progress, looking into sort of forcing. It's not perfect. There's a lot of games that can't be forced, mainly because the software that we're currently using is rubbish. Really, we need this interesting thing looking at forcing the PS1 games. It can be done. It's just clearly no one really bothered to develop the software. The program we're using from 2001, and then they just stopped bothering, which is probably the reason a lot of homebrew projects fail a bit, because people start it, tinker with it, enjoy it, and then just never finish it. And often, if you're going to do something, finish it, because it looks so much better than having, say, an unfinished project.
Agreed.
Okay, that flame tower should at least give me some things so I can move my troops around a bit without too much. Hopefully you can see the HUD. I was aware last night's video the HUD started to disappear because I think it might have been the transparency option on the open broadcast software. I turned that off earlier. Just now. Ah, yes, it is. It was the transparency option. That's a weird one. Okay, so you can see the HUD tonight. Apologies. I'll make sure that's turned up in future. I don't know why it had that weird transparency option. I'm guessing it's your green screening and wanting to show the camera. Or you're wanting basically to show yourself on camera. One thing I'm not keen at doing, as I said, the only way I'd probably do that is if we get 1 million subs or something.
Very well. At once. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative.
My attitude is, as always, at Randomised Gaming itself. One, I don't want to be on camera that much, and two, the thing is, you're here to look at the games, and
Affirmative. At once.
we really want the games being front
At
and
once.
centre, not the presenters. I
Affirmative.
realise
Very well.
a lot of people
At
do want
once.
to be front and centre, but I
At
just thought
once. Very
for
well.
us here, we wanted to be a bit more concentrated
Agreed.
on the games itself, which I think is what
Affirmative.
a lot of people, I hope, at Randomised Gaming who enjoy our content want. We just want to show you the games front and centre. It's not about us, it's about the
Affirmative.
games. The
Training.
hard work and dedication of
Unit
all the
ready.
staff who work
Training.
and create video games.
Unit
I think they
ready.
deserve to be respected and shown off their work, because I think the games industry is still an industry that is still relatively in its infancy, and still very much, I think, oh hum, I haven't thought this
Yes,
through
sir.
again, have I? So, right,
Ready and
I
waiting.
need
Agreed.
to get a refinery.
Building.
I am short about 2,000 credits. Oh, wah, wah. So I don't want to. I don't want to sell that.
Reporting.
Actually, I think the planes are pretty much
Acknowledge.
unstoppable in these early missions
Yes,
on the
sir.
Soviet strikes. That's
Affirmative.
striking done.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative.
Ready
Should
and
be
waiting.
really try and hit their
Yes, sir.
harvester hard as well. Right, what am I going to have to sell? What am I going to have to sell? It's going to be a
Structure
kennel,
sold.
and it's going to be the
Structure
barracks.
sold.
It's going to have to be a power
Structure
station. It's
sold.
not one I want to sell.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Structure
Flame
sold.
tower. Come on, come on. Another power plant. That's really not good. I'm not planning
Low
myself
power.
very well. Okay, and they
Yes,
just
sir.
run it.
Affirmative. Very well.
I do hate the fact the AI will
once.
literally run in front of a.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Very well.
Unit lost.
Of course. Of course.
Unit
Okay,
lost.
yes, finally I've got the refinery back, having decimated my troops.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you go there, bud.
New construction options.
And now everything's going to be really slow to build, but at least I
Yes,
can
sir.
build again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
At once.
Okay, just
Very
going to
well.
here. Hopefully I got the refinery, so that means I can relax, and then I'm going to rebuild everything I just sold because of my
Affirmative.
own idiocy when building this. I should have built the refinery much sooner. That's me chatting away and not paying attention. The only slight downside streaming PC at the minute is that I'm actually keeping an eye on the comments and stuff. Although I've not actually had many tonight, but that's cool. I don't mind people just watching. Again, guys, if you like the stream, please do hit the like button as well. I do appreciate the likes. Whether I'll do PC tomorrow, I might do. I've got a few PC games we could look at. Retro PC games would be a bit tricky because I know I wouldn't be able to watch the stream then, so I'd literally basically be saying I can't see you, so if you're commenting.
Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Whereas I'm taking this mission really, really slowly.
Low power.
Reporting.
Generally my style, I like to build up forces and cause havoc and stuff.
Reporting.
I generally like to see
Agreed.
everything a game has, so I like to save. I'm someone who likes to save at every mission, get your most of your time with it. After all, once you've done it, you ain't gonna really want to replay it. Although I replayed this game quite a few times. I think I played through the campaigns at least twice. The original CNC I must have played through the campaigns about 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Back when I was a penniless young gamer relying on my parents' income way back in the 90s. I lost track of how many times I finished the Sega Saturn's version, and then in think in about 2001 or 2002, I picked up the box set they did of the 2 games on the PC, which came in a nice green package. Can't remember what it's called actually. I want to say War Chest, but that's what Blizzard called their pack-in bundles. Okay, right, I'm going to build the kennel back. Actually, no, before I build the cancel that, I'm going to build another power plant because we are running on red.
Cancel.
And so anyone knows, if you don't have enough power, then everything takes ages to build, and you have a lot of problems.
Construction complete.
And I really want excess power as well, so let's build a second power plant.
Building.
That way you've also got additional power in the event you're running low. You never want red power. If you
Construction complete.
It can basically hinder your base of operations too quickly, to make things building very slowly. The other thing is you also make sure you have enough power so that even if the enemies, because the enemies will often go for a power station or 2, so you want to make sure you have enough energy power so that way even if they take out a power station, you're still in the green. Because very often a player, certainly online stuff, you'll go for the enemy's power station, take them all out, all of a sudden they can't build stuff quickly, they can't do anything, and then you've got the tactical advantage.
Building.
Yes, I need to build the barracks again as well, don't I?
Construction complete.
Now, I know the enemies are going to be in trouble because we've not had anything from them, and I've destroyed their harvester. So once you've destroyed the harvester, if they can't rebuild the harvester, the enemy's in real trouble. So basically, if you're playing this online, power and harvesters are where their weaknesses are. Always go for them, because once they've lost their harvester, once they don't have any power, they can't build quickly and they can't get resources. And if you deplete enough of their resources, so blow up their silos and destroy their power stations, then they are done and dusted.
Building. Silos needed. Construction complete. New construction.
As always, guys, if you do like the streams, please do hit the like buttons. And if you're a new member, if you're enjoying our stream content, please do subscribe. As I mentioned, I've been doing this since the current world event started, the stream, just to help cheer people up. It seems to be going really well. We are getting surprisingly high streams. I haven't done as many gameplay videos as I'd like. I will get some done tomorrow as well. I'm going to have to think about what I'm actually going to stream tomorrow, whether I'll stick with PC or whether I will go back to something on maybe we could do something on the PS1 being forced PS2 being forced into 60 Hz. That might be an interesting one. I think some people would like to see that.
Needed.
Although we don't have a huge number of games, well, I could do Strider. Could do Vandal Hearts 2, which I know we can force. So, although Konami's games, I'm a bit wary of Konami's content, as they can be very content ID heavy in the past.
Agreed.
We do actually have, I'm going to give June a whirl on the PS1, see if I can force that on.
Silos needed.
Joe, attack. Joe, we've got a civilian here. Why have we got a civilian? He looks like he came and sold one of the buildings. He's just called Joe. I wonder if that's
Yes, sir.
Supposed to be one of the developers. I wouldn't be surprised if the names of the some of the civilians are based on the developers. Could just be random names as well. So now I've got. So I can only build the planes. So I think in the meantime I'm just going to build a ton of infantry grenadiers and a couple of attack dogs.
Ready.
Leave a couple behind to defend the base.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
You never want to send your full force out, and one of the things you'll learn in Command and Conquer is if your main force gets basically if you attack an enemy base, they will usually send a wave of troops, and if those wave of troops kill your troops, they will use those troops that have just done that will usually come into your base for a counter-attack. Notably, because normally they think you're weak because you've usually sent a large chunk of your troops at them.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training.
We've also got the planes
Unit
as well,
ready.
grenadiers,
Training.
javelin grenadiers.
Unit ready.
And then I'll split them into, so let's get the guard dogs. And the guard dogs we've got. Okay, so you ones, you two can stay back at base.
Reporting.
Now in military men,
Affirmative.
okay.
At once.
Next 2 sets.
Insufficient
Waiting
funds.
orders.
These ones here
At
can
once.
stay behind. I have
Very
them
well.
quite weak.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Those ones here, I will take 4
Yes, sir.
grenadiers and shove
At
them
once.
over there. So that gives me
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training.
Reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Training. Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yeah.
Reporting. Affirmative. Ready
This
and
is
waiting.
going to be my assault force. I think we can actually won them.
Very well.
And I will just Citral 2 these guys
Yes, sir.
with the defense force. Citral 2 in case I need them. I shouldn't do, but you never know.
Reporting. Agreed. Agreed.
Now, one thing if you are going to attack, make sure all your troops are grouped together in this, because the AI can be a little bit
Affirmative.
sometimes struggle a bit with
Agreed.
pathfinding. So you want to make sure
Affirmative.
everyone's
Affirmative.
together before you attack. Now, the guard dogs, I don't think are much use on the buildings. They're mainly for troops, but I will literally send the guard dogs over here because they're not going to be that much help to me in this.
Reporting.
And poor Joe
Yeah.
can go back. What is Joe? Joe can go back to the
Okay.
base. Okay. Oh, they have built another harvester.
Ready
Okay,
and
lads,
waiting.
get out of the way.
Affirmative.
Blow that thing to
Affirmative.
pieces.
Agreed. Yes, sir. Agreed. At once. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
And let's get the planes out
Acknowledged.
as well. Come on,
Ready
guys,
and
get out of the way.
waiting.
Get out of the way. We don't
At
get.
once.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
AI.
Very
It's
well.
terrible. It's driving for my dogs. No, no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Right there, I'm not happy. That has made me angry.
Affirmative.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit
Waiting orders.
lost.
At once.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Training. Unit ready.
Very well.
No,
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
my
Unit
punches.
lost.
It
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Of course.
Let's get the yaks
Yeah,
over
reporting.
here. They can
Acknowledge.
cold hard revenge. So
Acknowledged.
yep, let's blow up
Affirmative.
the
Agreed.
and literally run
Affirmative.
these guys
At
over
once.
here.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
So we've just taken out their power
Yes, sir.
station, so
At
that's going
once.
to cripple their production. Although probably
Yes, sir.
not enough.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Make sure we get all their.
Training. Unit ready.
Acknowledged. At once.
Training.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting
Yes, sir.
order.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Of course. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Ready and waiting. Agreed. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's at the last power station. Right, I'm. Right. Destroy! Destroy!
Unit lost.
Reporting. Yes,
Silence
waiting
needed.
orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Training.
I'm not
Unit
going to need
ready.
too many.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Awaiting orders.
Training.
Of course.
Unit ready.
Very well.
Training.
No, get out of the way, chaps. We don't want to get run over by the worst possible way to die is being run over by a harvester.
Yes, sir.
That's like the rook. That is literally like the rookie. You know, whenever the rookie in whatever, you know, the Star Trek red vest is like, don't do this, kid. You'll be careful. The red vest person, then bang, he's dead. Well, that's basically if you get. That's the harvester death. That is the harvester. If you get run over by the harvester, you are that rookie.
Reporting. Very well.
Unit lost.
Let's go take out that remaining base.
Training. Unit ready.
I bet I can build
Training.
a silo just for the fun of
Unit
it.
ready. Building. Construction complete.
Shove a silo there just because I can. It doesn't give me any build option, I don't think. Alright. We got the yaks.
Yes, sir.
Let's get the yaks in to blow that up.
Acknowledged. Ready and waiting.
So my
Very
main
well. Yes,
forces
sir.
hit that one and
Acknowledged.
guys.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Also, the yaks aren't actually that good damage.
Ready and waiting, of
and this
course.
is the other thing about the AI. Tell it to attack
Reporting.
things enough to be like, you'll blow this one up, but we'll ignore the other. So basically, you attack like multiple
Waiting
units
orders.
in a row.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
say you have 3 turrets shooting at you. You'll tell it to attack one. The other 2 turrets will still attack, will continue attacking you, and you'll basically. Oh, there we go. We've got reinforcements.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At once.
So
Waiting
we're
orders.
about to basically
Yes, sir.
take this enemy
Affirmative.
GDI base to pieces.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very
Again,
well.
you kind of expect
Affirmative.
when you see enemies like that to.
Unit lost.
Oh, we've got a couple of
Affirmative.
stragglers.
Of course.
Let's finish them off.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
lost. Mission accomplished.
So that's the first 2 missions in the. You know, I won't actually do the first 2 missions in the Allied campaign because, of course, I've already done a video on them and. Yep, I know we can select them. I might do one of their bonus missions though. Oh, do I do a count? Do I do an aftermath one? Let's do it. This is going to probably hurt because these missions are brutally hard, but I will do one.
Take a good long look, Major, because you'll be attacking that harbor at dawn. The Soviets are baby steps away from developing sea-to-ground missiles. Once those missile subs are underway, we risk losing naval superiority. I can't tell you how PO'd that'll make a lot of people around here. Your
They've
job,
actually done a pretty
Major,
good job. I know
is to
of
take
actually
out those
scaling them up.
Soviet
I know there's not the
sub-pens,
original resolution. I kind of
research
wish they
centers, anything
had
that'll
been, but
keep those
these
missiles
ones
from
have
getting
done
off the
pretty good
ground.
jobs of scaling up, considering the
Baby steps,
PS1
Major.
ones were incredibly low
Think
resolution.
baby steps.
And even the fan sort of mod I had that I installed. So General Stavros has elected you to lead an attack on the strategic harbour the Soviets have overrun and fortified. This font is a bit weird to read. You will have, this is V, you will have to move quickly for the minute that the Soviets realise that you are in the area, all hell will break loose. The nearby town is somewhat sympathetic to the Soviet cause, so you may want to keep close watch on them. If anything, try to Okay.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Even the supposed goodies. Sometimes you have to be a bit careful and not necessarily do
Construction
nice things,
options.
is what it's saying.
Building.
So I am looking for a tower and port to find.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Naval yard where power plant to get some barracks.
Building.
We've got the advanced tower plant as well.
Construction complete. New construction
And we'll probably want a
options.
refinery, which has been my mistake on
Building.
the last one. You always want to get the refinery out early.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Uh-oh.
Training.
Uh-oh.
Unit ready. Training.
Go, go, go.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
We've been
Affirmative. At
spotted.
once. Affirmative. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Very well. At once. Very well. At once. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed. Agreed. At once. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. At once. At once. Very well.
Construction
Very
complete.
well.
Curses, we've been spotted.
Very
I
well.
didn't get to the
Very well. Agreed.
little dude quick enough.
Very well. Awaiting orders. At once.
I had troops down there as well.
Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
So I expect I'm about to get a very
Affirmative.
nasty retaliatory attack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our base is under attack.
Yes, sir.
It's going to put me at a bit of a
Construction
disadvantage. So now naval yards are a little bit annoying because it's in the map you have to
Affirmative.
position them so you actually have. So I think in this one I need them in the upper river. You sometimes have to be a bit careful with the naval
Affirmative.
things. You can build a naval base, then discover, oh hey, this area, the naval area, doesn't have much.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
But
Affirmative.
naval units are probably the big change with the original
Affirmative.
Command and
At
Conquer.
once.
So that you had
Ready
the
and waiting.
GDI gunboats, but I
At
don't
once.
seem to remember you could build them. I think
Affirmative.
they were
Agreed.
mainly a sort of. I don't
Affirmative.
recall you being able to build them.
Affirmative.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Agreed.
Can't remember. I seem to remember GDI gunboats were only in preset missions. You couldn't actually build them because there wasn't a naval unit in. There wasn't a sort of naval base in the original. And the sequel, of course, changes that.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Another thing it changes is you don't need to build
Building.
things right next to each other
Affirmative.
in this one
At
either,
once.
which was another issue with the original. You had to
Affirmative.
build stuff right next to each other,
At
hence why
once.
you used the sandbags. Oh,
Very well.
crud.
Reporting. Very well. Affirmative.
Construction
I'm in
complete.
trouble if they keep
Yes,
airdropping
sir.
in units.
Very well.
And that's because I should have been a bit more on the ball when it first started. And a bit
Reporting
more
at once.
ruthless.
At once. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative.
New construction options. Low power.
Okay, so let's get a gunboat.
Building.
And destroyers are rather expensive. I need
Yes,
something
sir.
with a bit
Agreed.
Our base is under attack.
more. Yeah, this is the problem. The minute the Soviets
Reporting.
know where you are.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Watch those subs, they are an absolute pain.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Naval unit lost. Silos needed. Building.
So the gunboats are actually quite good at dealing with the subs. It's just that they're a bit
Yes, sir.
light when they
Affirmative.
get hit.
Very
Especially
well.
you've got to manoeuvre around the subs quickly. Destroy around
Unit
the
ready.
gunboats. So
Be
let's
affirmative.
go.
Affirmative.
Hit that sub.
Affirmative.
Got it.
Acknowledged.
Low power.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Repairing. Unit
actually
repaired.
dock.
Reporting.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
So we've got-
Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Okay, that's something I'd actually forgotten about. You can actually dock with them to
Affirmative.
heal up. That's something
Vehicle
I don't-
reporting. Affirmative.
I have to confess, I don't remember being able to do that.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
So now I've got a proper
Affirmative.
defeat. Or at least something that can gun down. See this? Now, need to
Base is under attack.
power station out. And let's get. I need fast attack vehicles, so let's get.
Training. Unit lost. Repairing. Unit ready. Training.
I also need
Unit
some
ready.
SAM sites. War factory. I don't think you had SAM sites on this one's what? I think the rocket troops
Training.
might have been able to shoot planes.
Unit ready.
Okay,
Training.
rocketry. Got two. Let's get some lights, some medium tanks.
Building.
Light tank.
Unit ready.
Do a thing.
Training.
Don't want APC.
Unit ready.
Right,
Building.
radar minimap. Yeah, let's get radar minimap. Actually,
Unit
no,
ready.
for that, I put on another
Building.
power station.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Cancel.
On hold. Cancel. Building. Construction complete. Unit ready.
Let's get that
Building.
repaired. Something else is damaged.
Repairing.
Let's get them repaired.
Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit
So
ready.
basically, this is one I'm being a bit quiet now because I'm sort of thinking this is quite a difficult mission. So, mentioned you can zoom in, and of course, if you press spacebar, you can go back to the original graphics if you want. But I quite like the new shiny ones, so I'll stick with the new shiny ones for this video. Seeing as it's a look at the remaster, so we've already covered the original one
Yes,
on the
sir.
channel. So, oh, can I build a medic? I think I can, can't I? Yeah.
Training.
Now, one of the things is the tactic is to build two medics. That way, the medics can heal one another. A medic can't heal themselves, but they can heal one another, and that saves you a lot of troop deaths in this one. Because of course, once you start building medics, they can all heal themselves. Now, if we've got a little
Acknowledged.
Unit
dude
ready.
there, let's get rid of him.
Training.
Don't want him. I don't want people sneaking
Affirmative.
around my base. Oh, they're going for my harvester. No, no.
Acknowledged.
Ready and waiting. Of course.
You're not going for my
Yes, sir.
harvester. I'm going
Unit
to.
ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
And
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Training.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Base is under
Acknowledged.
attack. Unit ready. Unit ready.
At once.
Training.
Of course. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Of course. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Preparing.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Of course. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Of course.
Waiting orders.
now this is something that the enemy can be very sneaky like that. They're just
Reporting.
stacking
At once.
locals. Okay, now I. Oh. Enemy vehicle. They're mammoth tanks. Okay, that's brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, tank.
Affirmative.
Kind.
Affirmative.
Yeah,
Acknowledged.
I really should have stopped that dude from.
Affirmative.
I really it's quite a bother now. I
Agreed.
need.
Training.
At least the planes
Silos
Vehicle
needed.
affirmative.
there.
Repairing. Building.
Gunboat, another destroyer.
Unit ready. Unit repaired.
And let's need to rebuild my
Building.
war factory.
Unit ready.
Oh, I'll get some. I should
Building.
get some pillboxes in, so they can't just start invading.
Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting.
They
Very
do
well.
like
Yes,
going
sir.
for my darn.
Preparing.
Yes, sir.
Stop going for my harvester.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Just
sir.
put my harvester
Affirmative.
back there for a
Affirmative.
second.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Now, if I was doing things a bit more seriously, I would probably
Affirmative.
actually fortify. I'd probably
Waiting
actually build a path up to the road and fortify that,
Yes,
so
sir.
that way.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing. Unit prepared. Our base is
Yes,
Let's
sir.
get my ships into attack.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Of course.
insufficient
Acknowledge.
funds.
Yes, sir.
Wow, the AI. So the AI strategically
Very
positioned
well.
units in there, and it is not
Very
doing
well.
anything to control them. For
Reporting. Yes, sir.
There's an APB going. So literally all those menacing units that I fought, and the AI that's just stood there and gone da 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 da. I can tell I think it's blown up two of my, but I thought I was going to be much worse off there.
Construction
Yes, sir.
options.
Affirmative.
My troops
Moving
heal, come on.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Prepare.
Medic reporting. Moving out. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Part of the gunboat.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders.
Oh, crud. Ho hum. Okay, that's me.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's not me Yeah, that's... Okay, yeah. I am pretty much, basically,
Naval unit lost.
can't build any more units. Now the tanks are going to my ships, they're going to my gunboats.
Moving out.
Right, as the old saying goes, let's just go out in a
Reporting.
blaze of glory.
Unit lost.
See how far I go. So basically, I made the one mistake of letting their little Warner get to the village before I
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
silenced them.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost. Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
And that's what I actually mean by some of these missions are literally one mistake
Affirmative.
and you're going to get punished. I suppose on the plus side I can still build units, but it does mean I can't.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Training. Unit
I must admit,
lost.
playing in a window, because I'm playing that window, a 720p
Unit ready.
window, so you can kind of
Training.
see
Acknowledged.
the stream
Unit
behind
ready.
me. It's not actually that
Building.
far.
Affirmative.
I think I said everything I need to say about the remaster. It is fantastic yesterday, so basically just saying the same. Again, if you like Red Alert, brilliant
Unit
stuff.
ready.
Kudos to the development team.
Yes,
It
sir.
really is a
Affirmative.
really good remaster.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Well, I'm
Acknowledged.
going to fight valiantly and see how many my...
Affirmative.
Oh, they're running over my troops.
Reporting. Very
Unit
well.
lost.
Yes, sir.
Naval unit lost. Unit lost. Naval unit
My ships
lost.
are being sunk. And in the
Yes, sir.
words of
Acknowledged.
Megalomania, it's all over.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Well, perhaps not if I was really stoic about it. Or it might be if I can't stop these tanks. It may well be if I can't stop these tanks.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Our base is under attack.
Oh, there's...
Ready and
Unit
waiting.
ready.
Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Silos needed.
It keeps sending people to scout out my village. My base. I should actually have a couple people just wait for them. And just...
Reporting.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it is all over. Just lost
Of
my...
course.
Why were my met...
Yes, sir.
Never mind. Let's just do this the old-fashioned way. At least we've got some gold.
Lost.
And a few bonus troops.
Yes,
to
sir.
fight alongside
Very
fire.
well.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Construction sold.
Awaiting orders.
Unit
Of
lost.
course. Awaiting orders.
Take this thing up
Acknowledged.
here to go.
Affirmative.
We can actually...
Yes, sir.
Oh well, let's survive
Affirmative.
just about. Let's see how far we can get. Let's go.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
This one. Let's have this destroyer.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Or brave and attack the
Affirmative.
sub pen. Come
Yes,
on,
sir.
hit them. Hit the
Acknowledged.
sub. Oh, it's actually got the sub for a change.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Naval unit lost.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Fight.
Affirmative.
See, we can't
Affirmative.
hit their base. It's the only
Acknowledged.
men they've got to fight off my
Unit
tanks.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Ready and waiting. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
And then they go with the dogs and the flame tower, which
Lost.
is...
Of course.
Unit lost.
Yeah, let's just get my last dude
Affirmative.
savaged by a dog. Fight! Fight bravely! Oh wow, I can actually shoot that thing from a distance. So yeah, this is the thing with the AI, you get like troops like the rocket troops, just stand at the edge of the AI's range and just blow up the enemy's AI, so don't get any closer to the flame tower and just literally destroy it. I've got one man left, how long can I survive for? And just
Mission
run out by a
failed.
tank. Nice! And there we go with sort of generic Soviet win intro. Do you want to replay mission? No. And that was the Red Alert update. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I think it's been a nice little stream, so I think I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think. Again, we do have a video of the older, the GDI, the Allied campaign. I keep calling them GDI. They're not the Allies in this one. They were the GDI in the original Command and Conquer. GDI and Nod were from the original. This is Soviets and Allies. I don't know why I keep calling them GDI. I guess I'm getting a bit long in the tooth in my age. Okay, so this has been the fantastic Command Conquer HD remaster. I will pick something out tomorrow to look at. It is a really nice product. I highly recommend it on Steam if you're a fan of the genre, as I said before. Really is just kudos to Petroglyph for doing this and EA as well. We've got Lemon Sky. He worked on it as well. Fantastic stuff. Brilliant. That's all I will say. It really is fantastic stuff. And hopefully, I'm guessing they'll do a follow-up to this with Tiberium Sun and Red Alert 2, I guess, seeing as they both use the same engine. Okay, so before I wrap up my closing thing, I'm just going to say I wish you a good night, a good evening, a good morning, or a good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. That's been another day streaming of Randomised Gaming. Not sure what I'm going to stream tomorrow. So I'm finished for now, but yeah, highly recommended. We're doing this for an hour and a half now, so I'll finish the stream for you. But as always, if you like the video, please do hit that like button. It's much appreciated. And again, if you're new to the channel and you like our content, please hit the subscribe button. I should say as well, we started off as a blog. We still are a blog. The YouTube channel's technically secondary to the blog, so we do have content. I do include a link to the blog in the description, I believe. I will check that in a sec. We should be including the blog. But yeah, do check out the Randomised Gaming blog on Tumblr. Most of our standard videos have it. If I've forgotten to include the link below. Anyway, that has been me for your mission. That has been me for this stream. I've been your host, Random Gamer Riven. That's it for me tonight. Sorry. It for Command and Conquer. Maybe I'll see if I can force June into 60 Hz on the PS1, or see how that goes. I'm sort of doing some interesting tests, see what does and doesn't work, but a lot of it does seem to some sort of power optimization. Anyway, I'll finish for tonight, and I will see you all in tomorrow's stream, which will be Wednesday.